Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I hope you all are doing well. And we've been working on one of the easiest, important, and fun chapter called organic chemistry. And it's been 3 days, I think we started this. And in these 3 days, we did some good amount of data, starting with introduction to hydrocarbons, what exactly the hydrocarbons are, what is their main source, which is crude oil. I hope screen is visible. Is it visible? Yes. Am I audible and screen is visible? Please let me know. Yes. आवाज आ रही है सबको मेरी?
Yes.
Okay. ये तो सो रहे हैं सारे लोग. Well done, Zoya. Okay, so the main source of hydrocarbon is crude oil, which is mixture. And now we separate the mixture using a technique called distillation, fractional distillation, which separate the component based on their boiling points. And here is the fractionating column where you heat, and on their boiling point, they boiled off, they distill off. The very first fraction that is distilled off, collected at the top, called refinery gas, used for cooking, gasoline, naphtha. Every fraction is important. As I mentioned, you need to learn these fractions in order, and their uses as well. For example, which fraction used for waxes and polishes, fraction used for road making, for chemical feedstock, for jet fuel, domestic fuel, and what are their trends as you go top to bottom in the column. Top to bottom to top reverse हो जाएगा ना. अगर ऊपर से नीचे एक चीज कम हो रही है तो नीचे से ऊपर ज्यादा हो रही होगी. So top to bottom carbon chain increases, density increases, boiling point increases, flammability decreases, right? And then we studied the type of formulas in which displayed were the key. Homologous series is actually a new family, is a different family of organic compound. In our syllabus, we have 5 homologous series: alkane, alkene, alcohol, carboxylic acid, and esters. Ene, alcohols, carboxylic acid, and esters. People belong to same homologous series. They have same functional group. What is functional group? It is an atom or group of atoms that decides the chemical properties of a homologous series. And because all members of homologous series have the same functional group, they show similar chemical properties. They follow the same general formula, trend and physical properties, and differ by CH2. So now we have, the functional group of each homologous series. Alcohol is OH, carboxylic acid is CO2H, ester is just CO2. Hydrocarbons, compounds entirely based on carbon and hydrogen atoms, but we have variety in hydrocarbons. We have saturated and unsaturated. What is the difference, sir? Saturated are those which have all single bond between carbon atoms, and in unsaturated we have a double bond. Baki sare single bhi ho sakte hain. Imagine if you have like 5 carbons. ऐसा नहीं कि पांचों के बीच में डबल होगा तो एल्कीन होगा. Even if there is one double bond, imagine कि हमने यहाँ डबल बॉन्ड लगा, कहीं भी लगा दिया, यहाँ, it is still an alkene. Although कि इसमें सिंगल बॉन्ड भी हैं, I hope आप देख रहे हैं कि इसमें तो सिंगल बॉन्ड्स भी हैं, सिंगल, लेकिन क्योंकि इसमें एक डबल आ गया तो because of the presence of one double bond, it is an unsaturated hydrocarbon. Alkane में सारे के सारे सिंगल बॉन्ड. अच्छा, the general formula of alkane is CnH2 and +2, in which hydrogens are always 2 more than double of the carbon atoms. We have first 4 member part of our syllabus जिसके आपको नाम याद होने चाहिए, and those are कौन से हैं वो? Methane, ethane, meth, eth, prop, bute. ये बताया हुआ सबको? Meth, eth, prop, bute. And if they follow the general formula of alkane, they will be end with methane, ethane, propane, and butane. And then we have alkene, which have a double bond between carbon atoms. Hydrogens are exactly double than carbon atoms. The good thing about alkene is their end starts with 2. And I mentioned the reason that we must have at least 2 carbon to have a double bond. So 2 carbon matlab it has to be eth, 3 is prop, and then bute. Since they follow the general formula of alkene, they will be end with ene. Then we started with alkane, cracking. It is a process in which the large chain hydrocarbons are broken down into smaller, more useful alkanes and alkenes. Why smaller one are more useful? Because they are highly flammable. They are in high demand. So to compensate, वो आपसे पूछ सकता है why there's a need to cracking. Cracking is basically done to compensate the high demand of the smaller chain hydrocarbon which cannot be compensated directly. जमीन से जो नीचे निकाल रहे हैं वो डायरेक्ट हमें इतने हाइड्रोकार्बन स्मॉलर चेन नहीं मिल रहे जिससे हमारी हाई डिमांड पूरी हो, तो फिर हमें बड़ों को ब्रेक करके, बड़े हाइड्रोकार्बन को ब्रेक करके उसकी डिमांड को पूरा करना पड़ता है. एंड वी डन दिस इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ हाई टेम्परेचर प्रेशर इन कैटलिस्ट aluminum silicate. Then there was another reaction of making of alkane, which is called addition of hydrogen into an alkene. Alkene is something that has a double bond. You added hydrogen, and hydrogen is literally added to those carbon atom which is connected to double bond. For example, imagine you have 3 bonds and double bond is between these 2 carbons, right? And imagine there are hydrogen atoms. इसके पास सबके 4 बॉन्ड होते हैं, तो देखो सबके 4 बना दिए मैंने, right? Now you want to add hydrogen molecule, which is H2. तो क्या hydrogen, देखो, let me label the carbon atom, right? This is our first carbon, the second carbon or the third carbon. Now imagine I have hydrogen molecule. तो ये hydrogen जो H2 different atoms हैं, ये क्या दोनों ही पहले कार्बन के पास चले जाएंगे, या एक फर्स्ट कार्बन के पास जाएगा, एक सेकंड कार्बन के पास, या एक फर्स्ट के पास जाएगा, एक थर्ड के पास? व्हाट विल हैपन व्हेन यू ऐड? ये ऐड होंगे कहां? एनीवन? जस्ट नेम द कार्बन एटम. Which 2 carbon atom will accept these 2 hydrogen atoms? And what about, I mean, both hydrogens, दोनों hydrogens इसके साथ लगा दूं? Okay.
No, sir. I think it's the first and the second one.
Excellent. So whenever you add something, you can only add the atoms or molecule to that carbon which is connected to a double bond. Because simply you cannot add here. यहाँ क्यों नहीं add कर सकते? इसके तो पहले से 4 bonds हैं. फिर further add करोगे तो 5th हो जाएगा. इसमें अगर हम add करते हैं, let's suppose मैं इसमें add करता हूँ, इसमें एक हाइड्रोजन इसमें ऐड कर दिया, एक इसमें ऐड कर दिया, तो 5 तो इसका भी होगा, लेकिन इसके पास चॉइस है ना, इस डबल को ब्रेक कर देगा ये लोग, स्टिल विद 4 बॉन्ड्स, सर्वाइविंग विद 4 बॉन्ड्स, यू नो. तो डबल बॉन्ड के पास ऑप्शन होता है कि वो डबल ब्रेक करके किसी एक को अकोमोडेट कर ले, लेकिन ये थर्ड वाला बॉन्ड तो अकोमोडेट कर ही नहीं सकता ना. इसमें तो एक ही ऑप्शन है कि यू रिप्लेस एन एटम विद अदर एटम, और हमने किया था, दैट इज कॉल्ड substitution. Make sense, everyone? So whenever you add, you always add to adjacent carbons with the double bond. This reaction requires 200 to 300 degree nickel or platinum as catalyst, and this is an extremely important reaction on an industrial scale. It is because it is used to convert on industrial level unsaturated hydrocarbon are basically vegetable oils. तो आपसे पूछ सकता है whether unsaturated hydrocarbons are oils or margarine. You must know unsaturated are oils and margarine is saturated. So to convert vegetable oil into margarine, we use hydrogenation in the presence of nickel or platinum, and 200 to 300. Now we have chemical reactions, you know, of alkanes, chemical reactions of alkanes. The first and most important reaction is combustion. यहाँ याद कर लोगे, this combustion is actually part of your alkenes, alcohols, ये हर जगह involved हो रहा है. In combustion, alkane is burned completely and incompletely. A complete combustion takes place in the presence of excess oxygen, a complete combustion, whereas incomplete combustion takes place in the presence of limited oxygen. In a complete combustion, you will get carbon dioxide, right? Carbon di, and in incomplete combustion, you will get carbon mono. Carbon mono is a toxic gas. It's a toxic gas. It is not good for the environment because it is toxic. Carbon di is like really good gas, although it is greenhouse, but carbon di तो हमारी body से भी निकल रही है ना. So yeah. The other reaction is substitution. Do you know what is meant by substitution? क्या मतलब क्या इस बात का? Substitution. Swap, replacement. Substitution का मतलब क्या है? Replacement of, you know, substitution of alkanes with halogens. Imagine आपके पास एक reaction आप कर रहे हैं किसी भी alkane का, let's say methane, you're reacting it with chlorine. Condition which is extremely important is UV light. So one of the hydrogen is replaced, substituted. One of the hydrogen. So now you're left with 3 hydrogen. That 4th hydrogen has been replaced with the chlorine, right? And the byproduct is HCl. I told you that you can replace all hydrogens with the chlorine. Now we started with alkenes. They are unsaturated because they have a double bond. The general formula is CnH2n, exactly double hydrogens, and they give addition reaction. कौन मुझे बताएगा? How do you think what addition reactions are? How would you explain or define the addition reactions? Anyone? I told you in the last class. What is an addition reaction? Haifa?
So when two reactants
Your voice is lagging, but I hope आप सही कह रहे हैं. Yes, Zoya.
When two reactants react to form one product.
Only, excellent. So when two reactants react to form a product only, one product only, it is always addition, and alkenes give addition reaction. This is my favorite, which is called reaction of alkene with steam. Conditions what you need to memorize. Organic is a bit like a memory test along with understanding. So you need to memorize, bhai alkene ko jab bhi alcohol mein change karna hai, sir, we need 200 degrees, we need 60 atm, and we need phosphoric acid, a catalyst for this reaction, acid catalyst. Okay, हुआ कैसे ये देखो, ये ethene था हमारे पास. You mix these two gases under high temperature pressure in the presence of acid catalyst, you get only one product, that is called ethanol, and that reaction is addition reaction. This was extremely important as well. This very test is used to distinguish between saturated and unsaturated. Imagine you are given with 2 test tubes with 2 different aqueous, solvents, and you've been to asked to identify, differentiate between saturated and unsaturated. So what do? You will add few drops of bromine aqueous in both test tubes. Now bromine is brown or orange in color. If the brown color, you put the brown color in the test tube and it remains brown even in the test tube when it mixed with that substance. If it remains brown, that means the substance in that test tube is saturated, which is alkane. And if the brown color goes colorless, it means there is a visible reaction takes place because the brown color goes colorless. There is a definite reaction, and it only goes colorless when you have unsaturated substance, and unsaturated means it is alkene, right? And look at this. The reaction doesn't require any special conditions, simple at room temperature. You simply mix bromine aqueous. So do not forget to add bromine aqueous. It's not simple bromine. And look, it has been added. In सबको add करके लिख दिया, कोई rocket science नहीं की मैंने. C2H4 और Br2 था, उसको add करके Br2 लिख दिया. Alkene से alkane में हम गए थे, अभी आज भी रिवाइज करवाया, उस दिन भी कराया था. You simply add hydrogen in the presence of nickel or platinum 2 to 300, and combustion is exactly the same we did for alkanes. Complete or incomplete. In complete combustion, you get CO2 and water, and in incomplete combustion, we got monoxide and water. Correct? Anything you want me to explain again? Okay. I hope this will help you to understand the core concept that how we started and what we did so far. So today we need to start with alcohols. First of all, alcohols, their functional group. The functional group is presence of OH. Their general formula is CnH2n plus 1 instead of plus 2 for alkane. देखो alkane में, imagine ये क्या है? This is CH4, which follows the general formula of alkane. Imagine you replace one hydrogen. So 2n plus 2 था, 2n plus 1 हो गया. Whatever the carbon, hydrogens are double and then 1 plus. और साथ हम क्या लिखेंगे हमेशा? So you replace that one hydrogen with OH. So that is the general formula. CnH2n plus 1 OH. Because we replace one hydrogen with OH. Got it? Okay. Let's understand the family of alcohols. We started with 1 carbon, then 2 carbon, 3, and as you know in our syllabus, they will test you with the 4 carbon maximum. Let's use the same general formula here. PNH2N plus 1 OH. That's the general formula. Let's plug N as 1, 2N plus 1 and OH. तो कितने बनेंगे कार्बन्स भाई? इसमें कितने बनेंगे? Plus 1 तो लिखा ही नहीं. So 1 carbon, 2 ones are 2 and 1 3. CH3 and then OH. ये लिखा भाई सबने? Okay. I want everyone to try for N2, N3 and N4. इनके formulas बनाओ. Put NS2, NS3 and NS4 again. $30. General formula is written. Then use that formula. Shabash.
Yes.
Done. अच्छा मैंने आपको ट्रेंड भी बताया था कि कंसेक्यूटिव मेंबर डिफर बाय CH2, तो आप वो वाला फॉर्मूला भी यूज कर सकते हैं. इसके नेक्स्ट वाला इससे कितना डिफर करेगा CH2? तो जस्ट इंक्रीज 1 कार्बन एंड 2 हाइड्रोजन्स. OH तो रहेगा ही. इंक्रीज 1 कार्बन and 2 hydrogens. 1 carbon and 2 hydrogens. But look at the trend. Whatever the carbon, hydrogens are double and then 1 plus then double. OH. Double and then 1. Azan हो रही है please. मैं इनके नाम लिख रहा हूँ. Done. So 1 carbon is called meth, eth, prop, bute. So we will name it as stem would be methane, ethane, propane, and butane. But since they all have this, they all belong to the same family called alcohol. Why? Because they all have the same functional group. Although they are different members, different carbon hydrogen atom, but their identification, they all hold that green passport. So they are Pakistanis, right? So they must have the same common features. And that's why they all are ends with all. Methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol. Make sense, everyone? The question was to draw the displayed formula for butanol. हम एक चीज मिस कर गए, I don't know why. उस कॉन्सेप्ट को आइसोमेरिज्म कहते हैं. I don't know आपने पढ़ी हुई है नहीं स्कूल में, पढ़ी हुई हो. So butanol. Just draw the 4 carbon, open, show every bond and every atom. And that's what I did. And then open everything. Imagine let's put OH over here. Even OH has to be open. In the displayed formula, you need to show every bond and every atom. So there is no exception. So OH has to be open as well. Please listen, everyone. This is the formula, the displayed formula of butanol. In fact, let's number this carbon. Okay, when you start numbering of the carbon, you can either start from this side, this could be your first carbon, or this could be your first carbon. But since OH is attached on this side, you should start numbering from that side where the functional group gets the lowest number. So which carbon would be my first carbon? Definitely the carbon attached with the OH, right? This is second carbon, this is third, and this is fourth. So the exact name, the actual name of this beautiful molecule would then be butane 1-ol. Because you can actually switch the position of OH, and instead of first carbon, you can put it with the second carbon. आप उसको यहाँ भी तो लगा सकते हो ना? So what would be the name of this molecule then? इसका क्या नाम होगा? Now, which is my first carbon? As I mentioned, you should start numbering from the side where the functional group gets the lower number. तो क्या ये पहला कार्बन होगा या ये पहला कार्बन? अगर ये पहला है तो ये सेकंड, ये थर्ड पे OH आ रहा है, और अगर ये पहला है तो ये सेकंड पे OH आ रहा है. तो अगेन मैंने आपको बताया था फर्स्ट कार्बन वो होगा जिसमें functional group gets the lowest number. So this is first carbon, the second, the third, and fourth. इसका नाम क्या होगा? If that is butane 1-ol, तो ये क्या होने वाला है? क्या होगा इसका नाम? बता दो यार, क्या होगा? Butane 2-ol. Yes or no? Make sense, everyone? Please say yes. Yes. So please note the difference in butane 1 and 2-ol. It is because of the difference in the attachment of the functional group, which is OH. They are two different molecules. Now, the question is, everyone, what if I switch this OH position to this carbon? I want you to write the name of this molecule then. अब मैंने यहां लगा, इसका नाम बताएं जरा, नंबरिंग करें. Would it be butane 3-ol or what? Please check. Less than 30 seconds. All right. Now, which carbon is my first carbon? The one on the right or the one on the left? So usually हम ये करते हैं सर, ये तो first carbon था, ये second, ये third. तो भाई मैंने आपको बताया था numbering start from the side where the carbon gets, where the functional group gets the lowest number. So if you consider this as your first carbon, this would be second. So second is the lowest number. Now numbering start from the that side again. So this is the same molecule as the one written on the right. It is still butane 2-ol because the OH is attached with the same second carbon. So it is not butane 3-ol. In fact, butane 3-ol never exists. Yes,
Sir,
Amna?
how do we do the numbering?
As I mentioned, the numbering of the carbon chain starts from that side where the functional group gets the lowest number. Okay. So let's start. We have this carbon chain. I can either start from this could be my first carbon or this is my first carbon. So if this is the first, this is second. Functional group is on the third carbon if you start numbering from that side. But if you're numbering from this side, the same functional group is on the second carbon because I choose this as my first carbon, right? So numbering is very crucial, and that's not हमारे syllabus में तो बहुत basic सा है. AS में थोड़ी ज़्यादा extensive होता है, but हमें भी इतना मुश्किल नहीं. So numbering start from that side, Amna, where the functional group gets the lowest possible number. Correct? सबको समझ आ गई? Okay, now butane 1 and 2-ol, they both have the same molecular formula. If you check their formulas, molecular formulas, they both are C4H9OH. They both have the same formula. They just differ with the arrangement of atoms. They both have the same formula, correct? both have 4 carbons, 9 hydrogens separately, and then OH. They both have the same formula, but their structures are different. So they are actually different molecules. And when we have such phenomena, we call this phenomena as isomerism. Isomerism. And these two molecules are isomers of each other. How do you define the term isomerism? Molecules with the same molecular formula. In fact, different molecules with the same molecular formula, but different structure. Different arrangement of atoms लिख लो or different structure लिख लो. They are called isomers. Called isomers. Now, do you think these two? Let me label this. This is first molecule. Imagine this is first structure, the second structure, and the third structure. Forget about the first one. Look at second and third. Do you think they are isomers? Second and third? Anyone in the class will get a prize of 10 rupees if you answer this question. Yes. So what do you think about second and third structure? Are they isomers? Yes or no?
Sir.
Ali Hasnan? Yes, Haifa? Are they isomers?
Yes, sir.
How? Can you read the definition clear and loud? Haifa?
Yes.
What the definition says?
When molecules with same molecular formula but different structures are called isomers.
Different structure. Yes. But look at these two molecules, the second and third, they do not have different structure. The second and third, I'm talking about second and third, the one, they are exactly the same molecules because the name is same. It says butane 2-ol for both of them. So they are not isomers. But yes, butane 1-ol and butane 2-ol, they are different because their arrangement of atom is different. They are isomers. Second and third structure are actually the same molecule. Just written, flip kar diya maine ek pakad ke bas kuch nahi kiya. Right? Because both are butane 2-ol. Abdullah, make sense? Yes, Samir? Correct. So this is an extremely important definition. Okay, पीछे चलते हैं. कल I don't know क्यों skip किया मैंने. Alkenes वाली family. Alkenes. Let's imagine butene. We have butene, everyone. Please listen. So in butene, let me write the structure for butene here. Can't find any suitable place. So we know that in butene, I hope you are all listening. In butene, we have 4 carbons. Right? Let's imagine मैंने double bond यहाँ लगाया. इसके 4 bond पूरे करें जरा सब लोग. And in the next molecule, let's say मैंने double bond change करके उसकी position यहाँ लगा दी. इसके भी 4 पूरे करें. And in the last one, I just push further और मैंने यहाँ लगा दिया. ये Okay, let's start with this. 4 पूरे कर रहे हैं, 2 बने में 2 हाइड्रोजन और लगा दिए. 4 बॉन्ड्स पूरे. इसके 3 बने में हमें दोनों साइड्स पे देखना है. It is bonded to 3 bonds. एक और लगा देंगे. इसके 2 बने में इसके साथ 2 और आएंगे. हर कार्बन से 4 लाइनें जानी चाहिए. देखो इसके 4 जा रही है ना, गौर से देख लो. 4 लाइनें निकल रही हैं इससे. निकल रही है सर. इससे भी 4 निकल रही है. इससे भी 4 निकल रही है. Okay, let's look at this one. सबके हाइड्रोजन पूरे कर दिए हमने. Okay, so this is butene, but this is not simple butene. We need to check that. We need to specify the position of double bond as well. So let me write carbon here. Carbon. This is bute. Everyone, please listen. This is bute, but since the double bond, this is from which side you should start numbering? This side, because the functional group is attached with the first carbon, right? Second, third, and so this has to be but1ene. But1ene, because the double bond is with the first carbon. Okay, then what should be the name of this molecule? इसके 4 पूरे करें सब लोग. इसके 3 बने में 1 आएगा. इसके भी 3 बने में 1, and this will get 3. So the idea is every carbon must have 4 bonds. 4 lines जानी चाहिए इससे. वो डबल हो सकती हैं, वो सिंगल डबल हो सकती है, वो चारों सिंगल हो सकती हैं. ओके अब इसमें आपके पास चॉइस है, आइदर यू कैन नेम इट दिस एज फर्स्ट कार्बन और दिस एज फर्स्ट कार्बन, क्योंकि अगर इसको फर्स्ट कार्बन कहेंगे तो ये सेकंड कार्बन है, सेकंड के साथ डबल बॉन्ड, इसको कहेंगे तो सेकंड है, सेकंड के साथ डबल बॉन्ड। तो यहाँ पे यू हैव चॉइस, आप कहीं से भी कर सकते हैं, राइट। जब इक्वल आ रहा हो तो इट्स अप टू यू। ओके दिस इज थर्ड एंड दिस इज फोर्थ। तो इसका नाम क्या होगा बाय द वे? अगेन दिस इज ब्यूट बिकॉज ऑफ 4 कार्बन्स, and since the double bond is with the second carbon, this would be but2ene. The way we mentioned butan-2-ol, because OH was attached with the second carbon, this is but2ene because double bond is with the second carbon. Can you write the name of this molecule? Everyone. 10 seconds. Done. So you need to give respect to the position of the double bond. It is extremely important to show respect to double bond. Right? Okay. 4 पूरे कर दिए इसके, 4 इसके साथ 1 आएगा, इसके साथ 2 आएगा। Now which is my first carbon? कौन सा first carbon है? The one on the right bonded to double bond or the one on the left? Right, this is my first carbon. Now why? Because this is bond, this from this side the functional group is nearest. I mean पहले carbon पे functional group है, so this is again butan-1-ol, exact the same molecule written here. So ये both are butan-1-ol, and this is butan-2-ol. So butan-1 and butan-2-ol, if you look at their molecular formula, they both have C4 and 8 hydrogens. They both have the same formula, but look at their structure, arrangement of atoms. Both have different arrangement of atoms. They are isomers, and this is called isomerism, where the molecule have different structures but the same formula. Correct? Yes. Please say yes, everyone. So today we studied the introduction of alcohols, the functional group, first 4 member of alcohol, and the most important thing, isomerism, which exists both in alcohol. अभी isomerism सब में ही होती है, हमने तो alcohol और alkene में पढ़ी। I mean, I hope आपको idea समझ आ गया ना। The first 4 member of alcohol, their displayed formula and the concept of isomerism. Make sense, everyone? आपको एक छोटी सी वर्कशीट में भेजूंगा, वहीं तक जहां तक हमने किया हुआ है। We still need, like, हम इससे बहुत ज्यादा फास्ट चल सकते हैं। I mean, we could have completed this chapter, but हमें कोई जल्दी नहीं है। I want you to understand the core concept. जब हम second time इसको करेंगे तो हम 1 वीक में शायद पूरा ऑर्गेनिक कर लें, but we still have like alcohols की preparation रहती है, carboxylic acid esters, and little bit of polymerisation. So 4 or 6 lessons inshallah, and then a whole week for topical worksheets. Take care, everyone.